All right, you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. Today, I am going to be sitting and chatting, doing what I do best and yapping at the camera. I know you guys love these style videos, and honestly, I enjoy them just as much. Today, we're going to be talking about some fitness myths. I have a broadcast channel on Instagram. If you're not part of it, join the club because it's a fun time. But basically, I asked everybody, what is a fitness myth that they have heard? And I'm here to either confirm it or debunk it. I have so many that I got from the broadcast channel, so I'm going to try and go through as many of them as possible. There are some repeats. There are a lot of myths on here that a lot of people think are true. I'm going to do my part and debunk those for you. One thing I do really want to talk about is that there are so many fitness myths out there, and I'm not saying that they're necessarily wrong. I'm just sharing to you what my views are and what my personal thoughts are and what I find helpful for either fat loss or muscle gain. I don't necessarily think there's like a golden book and golden rules on fitness. Like, I think everybody has a different perspective. I'm just going to be sharing what I think of these myths. So let's get started. The first one. So this one got the most likes. One myth is that you can't shape your glutes and lose fat at the same time. I think this is not true. I do think you can absolutely shape your glutes and lose fat at the same time. So how do you do that? When it comes to losing fat, you want to be in a caloric deficit, okay? And this deficit can range between 250 to 500 calories below your maintenance. Anything higher than that is a bit of an extreme caloric deficit. If you are still looking to shape your glutes and you still want to gain muscle in your glutes, but you also want to lose fat at the same time, you just want to make sure your calorie deficit isn't too large. So I wouldn't be cutting 500 calories out of your daily intake if you're still looking to put on more muscle. So what I would suggest is maybe cutting 150 to 250 calories. That way you're still in a slight deficit, enough to lose fat, but not too much where you aren't really building any sort of muscle. What I would suggest is you go in a slight caloric deficit, maybe 150, 200 calories away from your maintenance, but you're also doing your strength training. So you still want to really prioritize your leg days, for example, your glute days. You want to do a lot of isolation work, and you want to still progressively overloading, which also means you want to be challenging that muscle over time. You cannot be lifting the exact same amount of weight every week and expect your glutes to grow or to have more shape. You still want to be challenging yourself every week when it comes to your lifts, okay? So that's the first myth that has been debunked by me. Now, next one. Doing more cardio after weight training burns more fat. The reason why it's ideal for you to do your cardio after you work out instead of before is because you don't want to fatigue yourself when doing cardio before. So let's say you have an hour-long leg day and you do your cardio before your strength training, you're gonna find by like your third, fourth exercise that you're pretty fatigued and you feel pretty weak, okay? You really wanna prioritize your strength training as much as possible. That way you go through the entire workout, you do all your strength training, you're progressively overloading, and then you kind of just finish off the workout with your cardio and you won't be feeling as fatigued. Yes, you might feel a little bit tired on the elliptical, for example, but that doesn't take like a whole lot of strength. If anything, it just takes a little bit more endurance. So it's not necessarily that doing cardio after weight training burns more fat. That's not necessarily the case. It's more so that you're going to have a lot more energy to have a really successful lift when you're doing cardio after. At the very end, you really want to make sure you preserve all of your energy for your strength training, because that should be the priority, whether you're trying to build muscle or whether you're trying to lose fat. It's not necessary to do the cardio beforehand because you'll find that it is going to affect your lift. Okay, so it's not really about burning more fat, it's just preserving your energy for the right reasons. Fasted cardio. This is a good one. Fasted cardio, is it actually beneficial for optimal fat loss, or rather is it a preference that some people choose? In my opinion, I think it's a preference. I have found that when I'm doing any sort of workout, whether it's a run, whether it's cardio, whether it's strength training, I have to eat beforehand or I am going to see the effects in my lifts. I don't feel as strong. I don't feel as energized. I feel like my stomach is eating itself sometimes, okay? Which is why not only for myself, I always tell my clients to have some sort of food at least an hour before you train so that you have all the energy to perform your best. Whether you do it fasted or not, that's completely up to you, but it's not like you're going to be burning more fat if you do it fasted. It's not. You might feel leaner, you might feel skinny, but it doesn't really make a difference, to be totally honest with you. At the end of the day, fat loss comes down to being in a caloric deficit and maintaining that for a certain period of time, for at least 4 months. It has nothing to do with you doing cardio fasted or not. I genuinely think that's a myth. I find that I run better, I jump better, I lift better when I have some fuel in me beforehand. It is not going to make a difference in your fat loss progress. Next one, this is a good one. Creatine will have you feeling bulky like a man. This is not true. Creatine is a supplement that not everyone, but a lot of people think is going to make you gain weight or make you feel bulky. That is just not the case whatsoever. I have been on creatine for the last 2.5 years and I'm in the best shape of my life. And that's not just because of the creatine, but the creatine has definitely helped me perform a lot better. It has helped with my endurance overall. And I genuinely recommend it to everyone that is pretty consistent in the gym. The reason why a lot of people think creatine makes you bulky is because people have said that when they're on creatine, they feel a little bit puffy. Usually this is the case for the first couple of weeks. It's not the case for everybody. It doesn't happen to everyone, but there are some people that find that they just feel a little bit puffy the first couple of weeks on creatine, which is normal. Creatine, basically what it does is it pulls water into your muscles, okay? Which causes like a bit more of an inflamed feeling. It's really, really important to be hydrating while you're on creatine. If you're not hydrating on creatine, you're not having enough water, you're gonna feel a little bit bloated. So a lot of the times when people tell me they feel bloated, they feel puffy on creatine, I ask them, how much water are you drinking? And usually it's not enough. Creatine, it is one of the most studied supplements. Creatine is already produced in your body. It is only going to enhance your workouts. It's only going to enhance your everyday sort of movement when it comes to the gym. It will not make you bulky. To get bulky for a woman, it is very, very difficult to do, no matter what supplement you take, unless you're taking steroids. That's a completely different topic, but it is very hard for a woman to get bulky. You would have to be on a very strict strength training program and a crazy surplus where you're eating a crazy amount of food. It is not easy for women to get bulky. Creatine is only going to enhance your workouts. You're going to see a difference in your performance. You're going to see a difference in your strength. It's supposed to help you already. And I only suggest it for people that are pretty consistent going to the gym. If you're only going like once a week, some weeks you're skipping the gym, you don't really need supplements. You just need to work on your consistency. Next one, running makes you lose muscle. So this is a good one because I had been running a lot the last couple of weeks and I felt a little bit deflated. And I think the main reason to this was because I just simply wasn't eating enough to match the amount of movement that I was doing. It's not that running will make you lose muscle, but running will make you lose muscle if you're strength training, you're running, and you're not eating enough food. That is the only way. If you're eating enough, right? Like if you're burning, you can burn up to like 1,000 calories on a long run, right? If you're burning all of these calories and you're still getting your lifts in, yeah, and you're not eating enough, let's say you're under eating or you're eating in a crazy deficit, there is a chance that you are going to lose some muscle just because you're not fueling your body enough, right? So if you want to incorporate both, which I do recommend, you just want to make sure you aren't in an insanely severe deficit to the point where you're also losing muscle. Because the last couple of weeks I was running a lot, prioritizing my run, I wasn't even thinking, oh my gosh, I need to eat 10 times, like 3 times more. You know what I mean? That was the mistake that I made and I felt a little bit deflated, but honestly, it's been a few days since my longer run and I already feel like I'm getting my body back. I think I just felt so deflated after the run. I felt so weak after the run that I was in my own head, had some crazy body dysmorphia, and thought that I lost some muscle. But the case was like I just needed to get back into routine. So no, running won't make you lose muscle as long as you're fueling right and having enough food to cater to your goals. So you still just want to make sure you're eating a little bit more if you're going to add running into your routine. Next one, carbs can make you gain body fat. Anything can make you gain body fat. Too much protein can make you gain body fat. No movement can make you gain body fat. Too many carbs, absolutely, they can make you gain body fat, but having too much of anything is going to make you gain body fat. Carbs are a great source of energy, and I am never going to be someone to tell you that you shouldn't eat carbs. I have carbs every day. I have rice every day. I have bread, no problem, every single morning, but I make sure that I'm portioning things out correctly, right? I'm not having 5 slices of toast in the morning and, a whole bowl of rice. I'm portioning everything towards my macros and towards my goals. Carbs give you that energy source. There are a lot of people that don't take any sort of supplements. They don't take pre-workout. They don't take any sort of supplement at all, and instead what they'll do is they'll have some sort of carb source in the morning. So like a piece of toast with peanut butter, for example. That's a really great pre-workout meal that you can have because carbs are meant to give you energy to perform your best. So it's not necessarily that carbs are going to make you gain fat. That's not the case at all. And I think we really, really need to debunk this whole carbs are bad for you thing, because I think they're actually a really great source of energy in your day-to-day. I think everyone in fitness should be eating carbs. I do not believe in the keto diet whatsoever. I think it actually does more harm, if anything, but everything in moderation, right? Like at the end of the day, it comes down to how much of something that you're eating and not exactly what you are eating, right? You can have your carbs, you can have your cookies even, but you just don't want to go crazy and have 8 pieces of cookies, for example. So no, carbs will not make you gain fat. It all comes down to your portions. Next thing, is overtraining a thing? I'm not sure if it's a myth. Absolutely. Overtraining is absolutely a thing. There are some people that work out twice a day, every single day, and they don't give their body any time to recover whatsoever. Recovery is a main ingredient when it comes to your fat loss journey. That's when the fat loss actually comes off. That's the time that your body needs to recover from all of the crazy lifts that you just did. Because when you're lifting, you're basically tearing your body apart. I'm not sure if you guys know that, but you're literally making little tears in your body, and your body needs time to actually recover from those sessions and feel stronger the next couple of days. So I don't suggest overtraining. There is a limit. I think everyone that is going to the gym should incorporate at least 2 active rest days where you're not lifting. Maybe you're going on a walk instead of a gym session. But yeah, overtraining can definitely affect you. It can definitely affect the process of fat loss. It can slow things down. So I think there is a limit to it. I think at least, if you're training 5 days a week, you have 2 days off. Some people thrive off of 1 day off, which is fine. It's their personal preference. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to what works best for you. Depends on how many days a week you can get into the gym, but also making sure that you do have that time to recover, because recovery and things like sleep really make a difference in your fat loss journey, and it should be taken seriously. I'm someone that can sometimes get really anxious when I'm taking a rest day because I feel like I have to be moving and I have to be doing something. But I know at the end of the day, as someone who is a trainer and has been a trainer for years, I know how important it is to actually recover and rest my body after having like 5 days of strength training and doing high rocks and running. You have to prioritize your rest days just as much as you prioritize your workout days. Next one, will alcohol ruin your progress? Okay, so with alcohol, I don't usually recommend it to my clients. Like, if they can go through their journey without it, then that's music to my ears. The reason why I don't suggest it when you are on a fat loss journey is because it's basically a bottle of nothing. okay? There are no nutritional benefits to drinking alcohol at all. It's literally poison. There is a warning sign at the back of the bottle saying like this is literally poison to your body. With some types of alcohol, one shot can be like 100 calories. Like the calories are pretty high when you're drinking alcohol. Not only that, but if you're drinking excessively and you're drunk, a lot of times what happens when people are drunk is that towards the end of the night, they're craving really greasy food, like a McDonald's run or Wendy's run, whatever it is, some sort of fast food. They're craving it. I know from past experience, by the way. But you crave unhealthy. Then you're going to bed late. You wake up the next day. And do you think you're really going to get a workout in? You're hungover. Probably not. I know from my past experience, when I was hungover, all I did was lay in bed, order food, order takeout, and I would always crave the greasiest types of food, like burgers, pizza. Like I just wanted to be the most unhealthy person. I didn't move the entire day because I felt terrible. So it was just kind of like a waste of a day. That's how alcohol can ruin your progress, because it kind of just interrupts your routine in a really, really negative way. There are no nutritional benefits to it whatsoever. There's nothing in there that is good for you. And for the most part, when people are drinking, especially things like shots and, going off the rails, there's parties, their next couple of days are affected. When I drink, and if I drink a little bit more than I'm used to, I'm hungover for like 3-4 days. Like it really affects me. I feel so much weaker, even 2 days after the night. And I'm in the gym, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so weak. And I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. It's the alcohol, and it's the night that I had, sleeping late, getting up late, and just feeling so lousy. So it's what comes with the alcohol that I wouldn't suggest on a fat loss journey, because it can just affect so many other days after that night. That's the only reason why I think it can sometimes slow down your progress. You can still have alcohol in moderation and still hit your goals, but if you're someone that, you're out, maybe just don't drink as much. Stick to clear drinks. So things like vodka is way better than having like a can of beer. The clearer the drink, the better. But as long as maybe like you're still in bed early and then you wake up the next day and you're like, okay, I'm back into regular routine. That's when it doesn't really affect you. In the grand scheme of things, the less of it in your fitness journey, the better your progress is going to be. And the more you're going to realize that it's actually not something that you have to be doing. That's another thing. Like during the COVID pandemic, when I was trying to lose a bunch of weight, you guys know my story, but I completely cut out alcohol for 4 months straight. And I realized like, wow, I'm only drinking because it's a social thing. Like I just want to do what everyone else is doing, and I don't really enjoy the taste at all. I actually fucking hate the taste a lot. I've never really liked cocktails or anything like that. And I only realized that after taking 4 months off of it completely. Honestly, my suggestion is take some time off of drinking and see how amazing you feel after, because there is a really strong chance that you might not want to ever really go back there. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, these ones actually kind of relate to each other. So there's one that says, people say no pain, no gain. And there's another one that says, if you don't sweat during your workout, then it's not effective. That is definitely not true. No pain, no gain is definitely not true either. There are numerous workouts where I'm not sweating, mainly like upper body days. I'm not sweating a whole lot. And that doesn't mean I didn't have a good workout. Me being in pain every single session does not mean I'm having good sessions. At a certain point, when you first start a fitness journey, you're going to find that you're really, really sore at the beginning after pretty much every lift, because it's so new to you. It's so new to your body that your body's going to start to feel it. But over time, when your body starts to adjust to the movements that you're doing or adjust to the weights that you're using, you're not going to feel as sore anymore. Same thing with sweating. You don't have to sweat every single session for it to be an effective workout. I don't really sweat during my upper body days. I'm sweating during my leg days, I sweat during my high rocks days, I sweat during a run, but not every single, even some leg days, I'm not like drenched in sweat because I'm taking longer breaks in between my sets, especially if I am lifting a little bit heavier. So if I'm lifting a bit heavier, I'm going with 4 to 6 rep ranges. I'm probably not sweating that much because I'm taking like 1 to 2 minute breaks in between my sets so that my body can recover and perform the next set perfectly. This is not true in my opinion whatsoever. I don't think no pain, no gain is a thing. Just focus on your routine, focus on challenging yourself every so often, and make sure that there are some workouts in your routine where you are sweating. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's always good to sweat throughout your journey. Like, I'm not saying like don't ever sweat again, but like it's good to still incorporate days where you're like, oh, okay, I'm sweating. Like, that was a pretty hard workout. Incorporating like a full body day into your routine would be good at least once a week. But don't overthink it when you're in your session if you're not sweating. I suggest for you to push yourself in your sessions, absolutely, and get a good sweat in. But if you don't, it's really not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you didn't make progress or that your workout wasn't effective. Okay, I think I hit most of the main ones. I don't want this to be too long. Okay, you know what? Let's actually do one more. Targeted fat loss. This is something that I talk about a lot. You can't target fat loss. You can't choose a certain part of your body and be like, this is where I want to lose fat. When it comes to fat loss, you have to go into it being like, I just need to lose fat everywhere, because you can't pick and choose where you're going to lose it. Your body picks that for you. For most people, for most women, stomach fat goes away last. Face fat can sometimes go away first. Arm fat can be very stubborn for a lot of women. So it's different for everybody. You can't target it. You have to go into it being like, okay, if I'm going to lose fat, I have to be in a caloric deficit. I have to get my 3 to 5 sessions in for my workouts to help further that deficit, and then I'm just going to lose fat kind of everywhere. When you're in a fat loss journey and you're noticing, oh my gosh, I lost some fat in my legs, I lost some fat in my stomach, but I still haven't lost fat in my arms, you're on the right path. You're doing a great job. It's just going to take a little bit longer for your arms to lose fat. But if you're noticing other places in your physique, like you're noticing your waist is starting to trim down, or your face fat is starting to trim down, your arm, whatever it is, if you're starting to notice some areas are starting to look smaller, you're losing fat there, then you're doing a fantastic job. Okay, you just have to keep going, and you have to keep going for a little bit longer, because it's going to take time to see those differences everywhere and to see differences in the places that you want to see them. So hopefully that makes sense. But I think that comes the end of my video. I don't want to be yapping too long. I could actually yap the whole day if I really wanted to, but I need to trim it down. If anything, if you liked this video, there were still a lot in here. I'll do a part 2. I would love to do a part 2 and debunk some more fitness myths, but I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you remember to be patient with yourself and always do what works best for you. Stop copying Instagram workouts. Stop copying Instagram advice about nutrition, because everybody is so different. Everyone's body's different. Everybody reacts differently to certain things. So always do what works best for you, and do your own research as well. I hope you guys have an absolutely lovely Wednesday. I will see you next week, but please make sure to comment and let me know if this was helpful. Make sure to like the video so that I know to do more of these, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you next Wednesday.